You're on.
All right. Well, first off, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight, joining us tonight, I should say, for the flag football preseason webinar. We'll try to make this as informative and quickly so we don't take up too much time as we can. You should all, if you signed into the webinar, should be seeing my screen right now. Hello?
Oh, hi, it's Paul Kramazinski.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, so if everyone can mute their phones just by pressing *6, we'll go ahead and start. And at the end, I will go off by county, and we can get any questions at the end of the webinar that you may have. So to start off, the agenda, as you can see, the welcome, some administrative stuff, just going over a couple reminders and qualifiers and deadlines and all of that for you guys so you are aware for this season. As you all should be aware, we are starting sports management teams with all of our sports in the organization. And since flag football is my sport, I've created this management team, as you can see, with a variety of coaches, officials, volunteers, organizers, very informative people that know the game of flag football so that they can help improve the sport and grow it even more than it has grown. The next couple of slides are just key forms, which everyone should know, so we're kind of just going to breeze through them. I'm not going to really stop on any of them. These slides will be sent out tomorrow so that you can be aware and see all of them if need be. So as you all should know right now, the deadlines, we have the training registration deadline, which means everyone must be entered into GMS, into training, whether they're going to compete or not. We need to know if they have been training, and that needs to be done by September 3rd. So you got a little bit of time before that deadline to get your rosters into your area director or your GMS coordinator, whoever inputs all this for you. The last date to submit forms, after the September 3rd, we'll send out a reminder with a list of people and when the medicals expire, as well as coaches and Unified Partners is when their forms expire. So if we don't have them by September 14th, then there will not be allowed to participate in the state competition or qualifiers. They need an up-to-date medical or volunteer application to be eligible to even participate in practice. So we have to make sure you can talk to your area directors or your medical coordinator or whoever your GMS person is. They should be able to help you get a list if you want that before we send ours out for you. That way you can keep on top of things. Also by September 14th, all head coaches must be certified. We'll go over the certifications a little bit down the slides, but just remember the 14th of September is the deadline to be certified. And then competition registration, that's pretty much your final roster needs to be entered into GMS in the correct sport, an event that your athletes will be participating in. These are kind of just a couple reminders that pretty much what I just went over about the forms, and to work with your leadership, your area and county leadership, to see what is outstanding and what is going to expire before the end of the season. Again, same thing, just a little bit more. You can read over these a little bit more tomorrow once I send these out if you'd like. The next couple slides, this is the athlete medical, I'm sure you've all seen these. This all needs to be completed to participate in Special Olympics and sent in to us via the secure portal from your area director or GMS coordinator. So you can see the medical is 3 pages for the athletes. The volunteers, it's the same form we've used. This one as well is 3 pages. Even if you are not staying overnight, we still need you and your unified partners to sign the housing policy. That's probably the biggest thing that we have to return them for. So that's a huge thing to remember. Make sure both the housing policy and the information or concussion waivers are signed. If your coach, assistant coaches, or unified partners are under the age of 18, they also need to get this form filled out as well. I'm not sure if there are any new coaches to this. I believe most, if not all, are returning coaches or have coached another sport. So you should all be aware of the incident reports that should be filled out for any type of incident that occurs. And then this is what the report looks like. This is the sanction form. You would fill this out to do a qualifier, to host a qualifier, and submit to your area director. They have to sign it, and they will submit to me. And from there, we will approve it or decline it for any reason. So for the head coach's certification, this is newer to us. All coaches must be certified in flag football, have a flag football certification, as well as a general coaching certification, such as the Coaching Special Olympics Athletes course, which is being offered in most areas as an in-person class, or you can take it online and submit the receipt as well as your certificate saying you passed to your regional sports director, and you can get reimbursed for that course. So you would have to pay for that course, but then you can get reimbursed for us. All head coaches need to be certified, and it's valid for 3 years. We suggest that all assistant coaches get certified as well, because they don't have to be certified right now, but starting next year they will. So if they get it now, it helps them through the process a little bit easier. This is kind of just a little bit more of what I said, what I just mentioned. So again, you can read these thoroughly once I send these out tomorrow. I'm kind of just going over some highlights right now. So these are the current scheduled coaches trainings. As you can see, we don't have a flag football one on there. We are trying to get one set up, but I don't have the date for that yet. It will be in September, so once I get that set, I probably will get that right out to you. And we are looking for areas to host Special Olympic athlete coaching Special Olympic athlete courses, as well as some sports classes. So if anyone's interested in hosting one, we can get the clinician, and if you can get the facility for us, that's the problem. You would just work with your regional sports director, which is either myself, Nick Anderson, or Sam Hodap, whoever your area director, whoever your regional sports director is. If you don't know, at the end it will say which counties we are all overseeing. So this is a list of the ASAP courses, which is an online training course that you can take. This is where you can take the Coaching Special Olympics Athletes course. Now you can see it says what the standard cost of the course is, how much we will pay for $20, up to $20 for the course. And so if there is a course that costs more than $20, then you are responsible for the rest You can talk to your area directors. I know some have reimbursed the whole cost, but that is up to your area directors. There are two football courses on there. The coaching football technical and tactical skills is more, I believe, of just football courses. The coaching youth football has a few flag football content, a little bit in it, not much. That would be for the more tenured coaches, where you just need a refresher on some of the some of the sport specific rules and stuff like that, but it's very little on flag football. These are just two options for you.
And one wording with that, or a heads up for folks, any rules that they may be reviewing, since there's really no national governing body for flag football. Special Olympics is the national governing body for our program. Look at those courses more for technique and drills and skills and that type of thing, but you would need to be very careful and be sure that you review the Special Olympics flag football rules to ensure that you're using the proper rules with that. Okay.
Thanks, Mike. One of the other resources that we just learned about from Brian, who is on our management team, is USA Football. If you go to USA Football and if you sign up to become a member, it's a year long. There is a coaching course on there that's all flag football, and it's basics. That would be for any new coaches. The more tenured coaches, or if you've been coaching for a couple years, it probably won't be the best course unless you want a refresher on all the basics of the sport of flag football. But becoming a member of this includes videos and drills and lots of resources that you can use for your practices and for your teams. So it is a very good resource. Whether you want to take that course as your certification or just become a member to get all those videos and drills and resources from there as well. So these are some of the approved courses. We will have, there's some master courses that we've done, the webinars. We're thinking of doing possibly a coaches webinar, which is for the newer coaches, just to get some ideas to you, help you through, and stuff like that, just to get you acclimated to the sport of flag football if you're new and don't really know the sport too much. But there are the live courses, there's the online courses, there's the ASEP, and as you can see, there's lots of other ones that you can look up as well. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to email me, and I can say yes or no if that would count. These are all the general coaching courses, the first aid, the principles of coaching, as I said, the coaching Special Olympics athletes course. So these are lots of courses that you can take as well. And if you haven't taken one of these courses, you must take this to be fully certified, plus the sport specific. If you've only taken a sport specific in the past, then you have to take one of these courses to complete your certification. If you've taken one of these, then all you have to do is take the sport specific if you haven't already.
Okay. Actually, let me clarify that, because that how you said it isn't 100% on target or exactly right. Bottom line is, if you have ever the Special Olympics overall requirement, Special Olympics North America, Special Olympics Incorporated, or International, is that all coaches need to be certified. Special Olympics Maryland is moving in and taking, or is, for a variety of reasons, hasn't strictly adhered to that rule. However, we are moving to do that, and all head coaches right now need to be certified. If you have previously been certified in flag football, you can, actually, Melissa, can you go up to, back up a slide? You can either take one of the options here on this slide, or one of the options, so that either a general session, a general course, or a sports-specific course, something specifically on flag football. You can take either of those to renew your certification if you have ever been certified before. And we will, I'm actually cleaning up the certification information right now, and within the next couple days we'll get that out to everybody in terms of the status. So there's any variety of ways that you can renew your certification if you've had one previously, either by taking one of the general classes or courses or taking a different one. What Melissa was referring to in terms of having to take both coaching Special Olympics athletes as well as a sports-specific course applies to any coach who has never been certified in flag football. So if you've never been certified, you do need to take both of those courses. And as she also did indicate, this will be applied likely starting next year, but will be applied to all coaches, which is what the real requirement is. It's not just head coaches. We just figured we'd roll into it a little bit more judiciously since we have not adhered to it for quite some time. So hopefully that clarifies it. Again, if you've had a certification in flag football, you can either take a sports-specific learning experience or a general one, such as listed here. If you've never been certified in flag football, you need to take both coaching Special Olympics athletes and a sports-specific course specific to flag football. Hope that helps.
Thanks, Mike. All right, so our events for flag football, we have the traditional team, we have the unified team competition, and we also have individual skills. As you can see, we didn't have many teams competing last year. I know with the individual skills, we only had Carroll County participating, so if other people have, if other counties are going to have some individual skills, that would be great. Let us know when, at the end when I call your county and have any questions. Just let us know what sport or what event you will be participating in, or multiple if that's the case. For the qualifiers, it's same as every other sport. You have to attend at least 2 qualifiers. Howard County, I know, has 2 dates for their flag football league. Frederick County is trying to put together a couple qualifiers. So we have a few. If you would like to host a qualifier, that would be great. Just let me know and have your area director send in the sanction form so that we can be aware and put that on the calendar and make sure it gets out to all of the other areas involved. So said here, the dates, the 2 Frederick County ones are tentative. I have one here, the tentative required qualifier. At this time, it's not going to be required just because we don't have a location for it yet. But we are going to hopefully have that one as well. So as you can see, we only have 2 areas hosting qualifiers on 2 separate dates, possibly. We would really love to have more qualifiers if possible. So when we go through, anyone interested in having a qualifier, hosting one, and just need help with it, please just let us know, and offline, just email me and I'll do whatever I can to help you set it up and get it going for you. The more qualifiers we have, the better off, and that means more opportunities for your athletes to get in game situations instead of just practices. So qualifiers are always a great thing. So here is just a list of the flag football deadlines and dates. A lot of them is what we have already gone over. With the registration, the forms. This also has all of the qualifiers listed from the last page. as well as the pre-competition webinar, which everyone needs to make sure they're on as well, on the 13th. And then November 13th through 15th is the, pretty much is the NIT, the National Invitational Tournament for flag football. It's held at College Park. And last year, Don Bewick and Megan Schaefer both took their teams to it, and I know they had a great experience. So if anyone's interested in that, let us know. As you can see, it is on the 15th of November, so if you have a bowler on your team, they will not be able to participate. If they go to the flag football competition, then they will not be able to participate in this, get a chance to qualify for the state bowling competition. So that's just something to keep in mind right there. Just some of the resources, the flag football guide, all of these you can find on my SOMD. If they're not on there, we will be sure to put them on there, but I'm pretty sure they're all on there right now. The coaching training, like I said, was ASEP or the USA Football, as well as anything you can think of on my SOMD. All right, so we're going to open it up to some questions. I'm going to go county by county, so if you can just let us know if you have any questions once I call your county, that would be great. Baltimore.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Carroll County.
Hi, it's Donna. My biggest question was if there's any other skills teams out there. We're the only, I mean, we have a skills team and I don't know anybody else.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any right now, but as we go through, if any coach has a skills team that is going to participate, just let us know so that we can connect you and Donna with Carroll County to hopefully get some qualifiers and stuff together for you guys.
Great, thank you.
No problem, Donna. Frederick.
No questions here. We might have a few skills. I'll know in the next couple of weeks whether or not, for sure.
Okay.
All right. That's great, Megan. Megan, how many teams do you have this year?
I have 3 unified teams.
Okay. Awesome.
2 are adult, and then the third team is mostly younger players.
Like high school age?
Yeah, I think it's like 15 to like 21, 22, something like that.
Okay, so yeah, right in the high school age. Howard County.
Hi, good evening. This is actually John Phillips. I'd like to introduce my wife, who's the new coordinator, Robin Phillips, for flag football. She's actually at the Special Olympics meeting at the office this evening. No questions at this time.
All right, thanks. Do you guys have any skills players that you know of?
Not that we know of, but I'm going to mention to our coach, Chris Warren, to see if we can approach that.
All right, great, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Lower Shore. Pam, do you have any questions or comments? Okay. All right, and St. Mary's?
Yeah, this is Don B. Look, I don't really have any questions. Well, I have a couple. I'm not in the webinar. Can you give out the tentative dates for the qualifiers?
Yes. Let me go back to it. The Howard County League is September 19th and October 10th. And we're still working on, I'm working with Megan to get some up in Frederick as well. We don't really we have a couple dates in mind, but we're not 100% sure on them yet.
Okay, sounds good. We will not have any skilled athletes, but we'll probably have. It looks like we have enough athletes. We're going to have another team. So
That's great.
I'm not sure how it's all going to break out. If it's going to be traditional or unified yet, but we'll let you guys know once we start practicing.
All right, that's great. Thanks, Don. All right, I know we went through this pretty quickly tonight. Are there any other questions or concerns, comments, anything that has been gone over tonight? Or open it up to anyone?
Yeah, well, just one thing I would encourage folks, while we have, for those of you who don't know, Bill Dixon, who is a football official and is working with us on the sports management team, is on the call. But any questions on rules? I hadn't heard anything, and I know Melissa didn't really dig into those, but any rules questions, anything along those lines, before the season starts, now would be the time to ask them.
Make it easier. You could just put my email address up there, and they could address the questions to me, and then I could just send them back. It might be easier.
Oh, certainly, yeah, but if they have questions in general, that because sometimes there may be kind of some vague areas too. But certainly, thank you, Bill, for offering that. But
I'll add it into the email that I send out tomorrow with the slides. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah. But while we've got folks on the phone, are there any questions, any gray areas or confusion points that folks have?
This is Megan from Frederick County. I think the only really gray area for the rules is the blocking rule. It's never really been completely defined, in my opinion. When we were at the NERSA tournament, they were very, very strict as to you get 2 steps and that's it. Then you can't block anymore. So if we can get some clarification.
And Megan, that's pretty much what the rule says.
Right.
The problem I think we're going to have is the qualifiers, to have a qualifying, according to what I've been reading here, is we're going to have qualified officials, and it says /judges. That may be our sticking point right now, is to getting those people and getting them qualified.
Gotcha.
But in answer to your question, then, Bill, the blocking rule is exactly as she described.
Well, as I understand it from reading the rules, that's just as Megan said. You get 2 steps, and then that's the end of it. That's as Megan says. It is. I hate to say this, but it's as a lot of things in officiating, or it's left to interpretation by the official, whether it affects the play or not, or whether they say anything about it or not.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hate to say that, that's a lot of what happens.
Are there any other questions for Bill while we have him on the phone?
Again, you can always email me, and I'll try and get the best answer I can to you.
I guess the question is, what is the plan for the qualifiers and the state tournament with officials?
That'll have to go to Melissa.
We're still working on that right now, on how to where to find the qualified officials. But we are definitely working on that.
Okay. I mean, is that necessarily for the qualifiers? It would help me. It might be a good training spot for folks that if they're new to the rules and stuff.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think one of the options, Don, I mean, it's a great question, is one of the options could be that we train some folks ourselves, which is one of the things that we talked about at the with the sports management team, at least for the qualifier end. The other that I know Melissa is pursuing is to see whether the folks who will be officiating at the NERSA tournament, maybe we can coax them to come up to some of the, if not the qualifiers, at least come up to the state tournament at the Mount. We had pursued that last year as an option, and there seemed to be some interest, but in all honesty, we started that option, pursuing that option, probably too late.
Yeah, I mean, at the nurses, I mean, the officials are from all colleges all over, but Maryland, has teams in there. That might be the first spot to look for since it's not too far.
Right, and that gets them some practice working with officiating games for our athletes too. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I've gone through the nurses tournament the 2 years, they were, they may miss something here or there, but they were really on the ball.
Good. It's good to know.
Mike, I do have a contact at Maryland through other officiating that I've been trying to get to. He's been on vacation, and talk to him about this, getting Maryland to help us out.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, and like I say, Melissa's following up on that. And now that our main contact through Special Olympics has been Craig Pippert, who up until about a week and a half ago was knee-deep in World Games. So now that his life is starting to settle down just a bit, he may be able to help us as well. So, but yeah, I think if we approach it from a couple different angles, Bill's contact and Craig and whatever else we can find, I think we have, and do it now, we have a reasonable chance of success. But I think that combined with the suggestion of training some of our own for other events, we could do an online officials training for folks in the next month before any of the qualifiers start kicking in, I'm sure.
I've also reached out to the Naval Academy Intramural Flag Football League. We had heard that they were interested in possibly coming and helping as well, so I'm still waiting to hear back from them. So that's another possibility too.
I think the message you should take is that the officiating is one of the key things that the sports management team has been discussing and looking at different options to address that challenge as a key component of what they're working on.
Any other questions for myself, Mike, Bill, anyone? All right. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. I will send the slides as well as the recording of this webinar out sometime tomorrow so that you have it for your record. Well, I hope everyone has a good night. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can reach out to myself or your regional sports director as well.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for taking some time tonight. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.